Hello everyone, and welcome to our first look into Heroic Cathedral of the Eternal Night for patch 7.2 here in Legion. Now the first boss we do have is Agronox. What he really does is he hits the tank really hard and he summons adds. So the thing that's going to hit the tank really hard is Timber Smash. You do see it cast here. It hits for over 4 million damage, but it is all physical, so you should be able to mitigate it pretty well. And the other mechanic that he really has is he spawns a bunch of adds that spawn in the back of the room. They're fixated on someone and they run to that person. Now, if you're the one being targeted, you do not want this add to touch you. So your DPS needs to snare and DPS these adds down before they get to their target. If they actually get to their target, they will blow up in a 5-yard AoE for over 1 million damage. So you do see here, I do actually help snare and DPS that last add down. But again, if you can't make it out in time, just make sure you're away from everyone else since they do blow up in a 5-yard AoE. Another mechanic we didn't get to see too clearly in the boss fight is a strangling ability. So you do see here, there are these vines that start strangling you, and the way to break these vines is to actually just outrange them. So just run away from them. They're going to slowly be pulling you in and doing more and more damage to you as time goes on. So you want to dash, blink, heroic leap, whatever it is you can do to go ahead and increase your distance and break these lashes. If you do not snare or stop the adds from getting to their targets, this is what can happen. Up next we have Thrashbite the Scornful, and this fight is actually relatively easy. What you want to do is tank him right here, right in the middle of the room. Now when he does cast this AoE on the ground, you want to move out of it. It does hurt really bad, and run back into the middle of the room. Keep tanking him here. When he does this cast time, you basically just don't want to be in the edges of the room. This is why you tank him in the middle, so that this doesn't hit you. The only other mechanic he has is he will gaze someone, as you see here, and they have to go hide behind a bookcase. So you basically have to defeat this boss before he does that charge 4 different times, because at that point you're going to run out of bookcases. So again, run out of his AoE, stay in the middle so that the whirlwinds on the edges don't hit you, and then hide behind the bookcases so that he doesn't actually hit you with his charge. Up next, we have DOMA Tracks, and what this boss does is there is an Aegis in the middle of the room, and you're going to be running to it to kind of keep yourself safe when the boss goes up to 100 energy. So you do see the energy bar here on the boss. As soon as he hits 100, you want to run into the Aegis, but you don't want to run any sooner because the Aegis does have energy and it can run out and actually disappear before you get to use it. The other thing to note with the boss that you do see here is he does have a frontal cleave ability, and it is cast. So when that is being cast, you can actually sidestep it. So face the boss away from everyone and sidestep his cleave yourself as well. And you did see that channel there. As soon as his energy bar fills up, you do run into the Aegis and stand inside that AoE to absorb all of the damage. Now the other mechanic we do see here is at 90% and at 50%, the boss does summon adds. They do come out of a portal, and this portal is being guarded by a guardian, and it does look kind of like a fell elemental voidwalker. So when you see these come up, your number one DPS priority becomes those portal guardians. You want to skip DPSing the boss and the other adds and just go straight for the guardian adds. One last mechanic is that at 25% he does enrage and start doing more damage, so you can save your cooldowns for that period. Again, here we have the overcharge at full energy. Run into the shield and let that absorb all the damage for you. Keep him faced away from the group, and that's it. Immediately after him, you will get more adds and you will get the next boss, so be ready for that. Now this next boss is very easy. You want to face him away from the group for a frontal spell ability that he does, move out of any AoEs he throws on the ground, and there's going to be a phase where Illidan comes out and you're going to want to protect him. So again, here we have the giant swirls on the ground. You do want to move out of those because they will spawn giant spires that do a ton of damage. That swarm cast is exactly the reason why you face him away from the group, because it does throw out poison and does do a lot of damage. And again, at full energy, he will actually go invisible and Illidan will help you find him, but during that time he will actually start casting orbs. So you do see here that I did pick up the Aegis myself, so I do have this extra action button, and you do see these orbs that are flying to Illidan. I want to use that extra action button and start protecting Illidan from all these orbs. So you see these orbs flying at Illidan, I'm gonna get in the way of them and actually block them. This phase does become a little more hectic as he spawns more and more illusions that actually do more and more orbs. But once Illidan finishes his cast time, we go back to tanking normally. So again, you do just want to block all of these orbs, as many as you can. Cast time finishes and you go back to the normal encounter. Face him away from the group, don't stand in anything on the ground. And that wraps up our first look at Heroic Cathedral of the Eternal Night. Stay tuned if you want the Mythic Guide, I will be doing that very soon. And as always, good luck out there.